Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dean Callan Show. I know I was very late starting today, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Basically, I had what I could best describe as a catastrophic failure. One of the last things I do is like turn on all the lights, right? Sometimes I turn them on first. Usually I'm not too bothered about them because I've got like house lights and I've got studio lights, and the studio lights are way brighter. But interestingly, today as I done my prep, and I was prepping about an hour ago, I got my videos done and stuff, and I'm just exporting one of them, or I'm about ready to, and I tried to turn on the lights, no remote controller. And if there's a fundamental flaw in the chink of the armor of the Dean Callan Show today, it's definitely not having a remote. I went into full-on panic mode. And with the extra 2 minutes that it took me, well, it took me like 10 minutes. I was 10 minutes late getting set up for the show. But I decided, like, it's such a disaster zone that I'm just gonna talk shit, wing it a little bit. At the end of the day, the two key things I want to do today are taste the Bombay Bramble, which I've never tasted before. I got it from Mark Plumrich. I was talking to him about the Bombay Amber, which I keep using on the show because I always run out of Bombay. And he said, you've got to taste the Bramble. Apparently it's really good. And the second thing I want to do today, and I'm hoping I'm live. It doesn't look like I'm live. But you know what? I'm just going to record something. I kind of feel like the show must go on. So I thought today I've done the fastest possible rigging of a mobile camera. So what I've done is, and also just in case you're interested, this light features in the opening and closing shots of the show, but I never actually put the light on for the show, right? Because there's already a watermark. But Des recommended I put the light in, so for him I'm putting in the light for this episode so he can see it, because he always thinks I'm standing directly in front of it. That's not the case. It's over there. It's just usually down underneath the bar. So check this out. I don't know if this is even going to work because I can't see it in my little monitors, but basically I took my stills camera and rigged it up so that you guys, if I can get it wide enough, which I probably can't, you guys can kind of almost see what I'm seeing. If I push this button, yep, there you go. So like, look at this, right? Can you see just how many lights there actually are? Look at all those ones. There's more lights. Those white things that you're seeing are light panels. These are all lights. So basically, all of these lights across here, and all the way across there, and these big stupid panels, and this little guy here, like, none of them were turning on. So you can see, like, if you look closely, you can see a like plug hanging just loosely. That's because I had to wire all those lights up in 5 minutes. So yeah, lights could die. The whole cabin could burn down at any moment. I'm gonna cut back to the normal camera. Right, so now I know I can run a portable rig off a 2 or 3 meter long wire, which is pretty cool. Didn't think to do that before. Anyway, right. To get it out of the way, I want to play a video that I edited it a little bit. I think inspired by the Lego movie. If you've watched the Lego movie, in the Lego movie, loads of crazy shit is going on, and they're singing the song "Everything is Awesome," right? So I hadn't added everything is awesome to this video before. I literally was just gonna play the video and then like play the end bit, and I kind of felt like my brain was so fuzzy from all the crazy 59 days of being locked in and not really knowing what's going on. I thought it's like being in the Lego movie. Like, it doesn't feel real. So, everything is awesome. I had the guys from Jim Murray, Abby Goodall, and Dan Jones came round to the house and dropped off a package. And I think it was lovely. It wasn't just a bunch of ingredients thrown together. They thought about the dish that you were going to cook. They thought about what you were going to serve up and how you were going to consume it. And like Abby actually handmade all the little like porcelain bits that come together to make the drink. I'll explain it afterwards, but it was pretty special. And myself and my wife really enjoyed it. I wanted to say a big thank you by, telling them it was awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Right, so after last week, when we had Hannah Lamphere in here talking about WSET, which I plan to do, I definitely plan to do it. I'm going to probably go on one of those payment plans, but I'm definitely going to do it. We genuinely had not expected Mitch to like be on that call prior to it happening. Like Hannah, I didn't know. Hannah had mentioned it on her social media. She was like, "Mitch, where are you? Get involved." And we're all good friends, like Hannah was at Mitch's wedding as I was, and we had some really nice chats. Mitch's wedding was amazing, by the way. But it made me think, right? I thought to myself, we're supposed to be, my dream for spending all this time setting up like this crazy amount of gadgetry and camera angles and stuff was that I was going to be able to have multiple people sat as if they're sitting at the bar. They can see the bar top. So the reason for the angle being the way it is, if you look, your perspective starts like as if you're sitting at the bar, right? The bar goes further back down to here, but you're kind of seeing it from there. That's the idea. So you're sitting at the bar and I'm serving you. And I thought to myself, we might not be able to do it today. This is a random episode, I understand that. But I thought to myself, what if regular people that were on the show on a kind of more regular occasion were able to say, call in. So a couple of hours before the show, I'd put it out there and say, this episode, there's a seat at the bar, right? So it'd be like being invited to come sit at the bar at like, I don't know, there's some cocktail bars these days where you really do need to be invited to sit at the bar. You can't just go and sit at the bar. You have to book a table and you sit at the table, then you get invited up to the bar. Something along those lines. But we might have regular guests and then we'd have someone that we could invite in from online. So if you think that's a good idea, if you're up for it, let me know. I'd love to do that sort of thing. And it also brings back some of the randomness that makes a bar what a bar is. So for me, I had ideas of how to turn this show concept into like a real life experience for people. I'd love to be able to shoot a show and have people sat around that are, buying drinks. They're actually having drinks. Like a guest shift that's run live with live switching and live different angles and everything like that. So you can see I didn't have time to get the focus right on one of the cameras. It's such a disaster. And like overhead ones, all that sort of stuff. All these different angles. But you'd set the angles up on people's faces. So I thought that'd be really cool. Let me know if you think that it's a possibility to kind of build that into the show. Even if you're watching this and it's not live in YouTube, if you say, guys, dude, that sounds great, right? I'll give it a test. So, Bramble, I needed this Guinness. Let's have a taste of it. Now, obviously, I'm expecting this to be sweet, but I have no prior knowledge of what this is going to be. Okay, so Bombay Bramble, distilled gin with a blackberry and raspberry infusion. Okay, cool. ABV is 37.5, 100% natural flavors and colors from freshly harvested fruits, right? So they're not frozen. It's actual fresh harvested fruits. And like, to be fair, snap freezing things and using some other forms of extraction might yield to a really good flavor, but they've obviously gone for a bit more of a craft feel to it. A creative expression of our original Bombay dry gin, bursting with natural flavors of blackberries and raspberries. This is a perfect balance with vibrant juniper notes of our classic signature gin. A real fruit infusion gives a distinct color and natural flavor with no added sugar. Ooh, no added sugar. Bombay Bramble, using our London dry gin at its heart, is inspired by the modern classic gin cocktail, the Bramble, created in 1984. Serve long over ice with tonic, or add 2 parts Bombay Bramble to 1 part freshly squeezed lemon and half part of sugar syrup for a twist on the classic Bramble cocktail. Shake, pour over ice, and garnish with fresh berries. For more creative inspiration and cocktail recipes, go to Bombay. This is cool. Okay, so it sounds pretty legit. I'm gonna have to try it out now. Part of me wants to shake up a drink, and the other part of me, after the stress that was getting the cameras on and everything working, I might just do the first serve. Like, I love when there's a serve on the back of a bottle. I genuinely like seeing a serve on the back of a bottle. The more I'm spending time at home, the more I'm hanging out with, consumers and just chilling at a party, the more I'm like, you know what was that recipe again? Oh yeah, it's on the back of the bottle. Great. Everyone should have some sort of recipe suggestion. 2 part Bombay Bramble, 1 part fresh. Where is this one? What did they say? Oh, they just said gin and tonic, right? Serve long over ice with tonic. All right, I'm gonna try that as well. Let's start with this. It's back to being completely random. Damn it! I was starting to feel like yes, it arrived. Thank you, brother. It literally they were sat on the bar here a second ago. Ooh. Well, it's definitely got a punchy gin smell. It doesn't smell like a liqueur. And I'm getting raspberries, loads of raspberries. I might have to do it another day, but I'd like to do a normal Clover Club, and then that one without the raspberries. What would it taste like? I guess that's what they're saying with the twist on the bramble. It's completely dry. If you're looking for a keto bramble liqueur, this is it. I don't know if that's actually true. What if it is? I guess this is carbohydrates, right? Yeah, Clover Club. We're making Clover Clubs tonight. I just don't have egg out here. I don't think I've got... I'm just not prepped. I'm not properly prepped. Oh, I've got lemon. I do have lemon. Oh, it's really good. It's really good. It's really clean. It's got a real raspberry flavor. I don't know how much. Maybe my nose isn't good at spotting blackberry. But I'm definitely try the Clover Club. Okay, damn it. Yeah, tonight we're gonna do it. Right. So for what day is it today? For Wednesday's episode, I will make the cocktail properly because I kind of feel like I'm doing a disservice to both myself and anyone who's genuinely trying to watch this show with the intention of learning something, right? I'm just venting at the moment and practicing with all my kit. But I will do a Clover Club episode on Wednesday. Nice and easy. We'll do Clover Club. Oh, I could do a full Bombay Clover Club episode. I could just go, which Clover Club is the... How many Clover Clubs can we make? Because what's the difference between those two going to be? I'll stick... If anyone has a recommended Clover Club spec, and just ahead of time, I put a little hint of dry vermouth in my Clover Clubs. The reason for that is when I first arrived in London, the first ever trip to London, John Gaku, legend that he is, took me to the Lonsdale. When I got to the Lonsdale, behind the bar was a bartender called Gregor de Gaither. Now, Never met the guy, but if you're a professional bartender and you super love bartending, right? You mega love bartending. When you see a good bartender moving behind the bar and chatting to people and they've got a flow about them, you respect it immediately. And as soon as I seen him bartending, I was like, this guy's the dude. So I ordered a Clover Club off him because I tend to go on like long rants of drinks. I'll drink nothing but Clover Clubs everywhere I go for like 3 or 4 weeks in the springtime. I feel like this is the time to be drinking Clover Clubs. So I'll do a 3-week stint of Clover Clubs. And the best Clover Club, I'll be asking, what did you do? What's your recipe? What's your spec? And I improved my Clover Club by drinking other people's Clover Clubs. His was so good. It's only been about the last year that I drank Clover Clubs again. It was so good. I decided to retire the drink because I was never going to make a Clover Club that good. And I just wanted the last Clover Club I drank to taste that good until the next time I seen him. But then he died, so which is very sad, very prematurely, and like I've never revisited the Clover Club. So Wednesday, revisit the Clover Club. It'll be amazing. I'm getting excited about that. We've got some fresh eggs. It's going to be very cool. Right. So from the fruit, the UK market leader is 93 grams per liter. Mark, dude, can you jump on a call? Do you have Skype? Maybe we could do it Wednesday. If anyone from Bombay wants to jump on the call and explain Bombay while we make Clover Clubs, you're more than welcome. That would be great. Then we can... it's crazy dry, no added sweeteners. It's hard to describe how dry it is. You get the fruit flavor, but it's dry. It tastes legit. Do I be lazy and do the... I'm so lazy. Damn it. 2 parts Bombay Bramble, 1 part freshly squeezed lemon, and 1/4 part sugar. Pour over crushed ice and garnish with fresh berries. Alright, well we might be missing the fresh berries, but I need to try this now. Right, fresh ice. What size glass are we going to go for? One of these guys. I'll let that temper there. Glassware's in the fridge. Alright. I'm going to make this 2 parts Bombay Bramble. So, guys, try it with tonic first. What are you guys doing to me? Try it with tonic first, he says. I'll leave this aside and let that settle. Alright. Imagine doing a whole episode where you've just got like the bar completely set up, and then people order their drinks through me. So whatever spec is, there's lemon juice, there's lime juice, there's sugar syrup, and someone from India or the Philippines could have a cocktail that's their creation, and they'd be like, okay, Dean, I want you to add this with this plus this, and I'll like be watching on this in the comments and then make the drink for them. Try to get the garnish right and everything. I could learn so many drink recipes that way. If you just dedicate one day every fortnight to it. The totally unscheduled randomness. I like these offcuts of ice. So the London Ice Studio, or Ice Studio London, are now taking the offcuts from their big blocks and turning them into shaking chunks. It's quite cool. I need to do some work to get them. I'm going to put 1.5 ounces in here. Crap. I'm going to put 2. And then tonic water. Let's have a look. So guys, we have Fever Tree and we got Schweppes. Now at this point in time, I don't know anyone from Schweppes, but I know Craig Harper works for Fever Tree, so it's like, it feels like opening this one is gonna, like, you know, put some money into the coffers of someone that I look up to and respect. So if I know the Schweppes guy or girl, I apologize. I didn't even know I knew at the time. All right, it's so crazy. I'm gonna revisit this at the end of raspberry red currant season because my garden is just a whole wall of raspberry kings, and when they're in season, they taste amazing. They're really, really good. But for now, I'm gonna leave it no garnish. I'm hoping that's about the right spec. All right. Okay, that's really good. Oh, that's really good. How much is this for cost compared to this? Guys, I'm gonna admit, like Mark, as a favor, sent me these because I'd been carrying on about not having Bombay. But how much is that? Is it like a 10% premium to this? Is it still in the same? Because obviously, you know, for the kids at home, one thing you don't want to do when you create a product is cannibalize the main product. You know, like you want it to be a different thing, slightly different category for different occasion. But this feels like I'd be drinking this all summer. That would be like an alternate to drinking like a, you know, some days when you're out in the sun and you just want something that's fizzy and like it's got a berry sort of taste to it, but you don't want to go like super cocktail route. You just want to be able to order it in the like pub that you're in and not have to explain anything, not have to be concerned about the whole cocktail serve. You just want a gin and tonic, but you don't want a gin and tonic. You end up ordering like some sort of berry cider. Like I do it all the time. I end up ordering like I think it's Copperberg or something. I like look at the like, do I want a pint of stout? I'm just not feeling it. And then I want fresh, but I don't want to try to get an Aperol Spritz off the guys or anything like that. It's just going to be too complicated. And then I end up drinking fruity ciders, and they're way too sweet. So I end up ordering like a shot of something and putting it into my giant pint of fruity cider. This is dry enough that it's the gin and tonic with fruit that I wanted. I'm actually quite happy about this. I'm actually quite happy about this. Oh, 110%. So a 10% premium to the normal. And that makes sense. You're getting extra flavor in it. Right, so 2 parts. I'm going to do 1 part of lemon juice. This is awesome. I like not thinking. So 1 of lemon juice. So I was sharpening this knife. I bought this knife in Japan a few years back. And oh yes. And I've never sharpened it. I sharpened all the other knives loads, but for some reason that one was so sharp when I got it. And it's only sharp. It's like it's flat on one side and it comes down on an angle on the other side. And I've always thought to myself, I'm gonna keep using that until it gets like too blunt to use, and then sharpen it in case my sharpening actually makes it worse because I'm crap at sharpening knives. And I can't use my Mino Sharp, which is a super simple alternative to using whetstones, because it's got 2 15-degree angles on it. Anyway, I sharpened it for the first time on the weekend. It felt good. A quarter of sugar. All right. I'm building it into this so I can get a nice even mix on it. I would, if I had the ice tempered, just put it onto cubed ice and do these ones. But I'm going to throw some ice in there to try to get a little bit of dilution. And then put it over my cube. Because ultimately, I might leave that to the side for a little bit and drink the big guy. All right. Happy days. Yeah, London Calling. I could totally do London Calling, but I kind of feel like there's a lot to unpack, because I hadn't expected it to be anywhere near as dry. In fact, how did I not know about it? How am I that out of touch? Living in my own little bubble that I don't know what's coming out. It's funny because I keep discovering loads and loads of new things. The pace of new things when I first started in this industry was considerably slower than it is now. And I remember when I was younger, looking at people that were in their 40s, thinking, and they weren't updating their knowledge, and I'm like, how are they supposed to be competitive if they're not updating their knowledge? And like, you start to think as you get older, what is it I actually want to do? Like, what's the key most important thing? And for me, it's interacting with people. I found I've gotten more success from practicing human interaction than I ever have from having knowledge. I'm terrible at sharing knowledge. If anyone's seen the interview I had with Sean Sewell, he talks about the first time he met me, and I basically grilled him and asked him loads of quiz questions on knowledge things, which like, it's totally not me now, I guess. I'll get geeky about stuff with people, but if they're not starting it, I'm not going to start it. I don't instigate that sort of stuff anymore. All right, so that's solid. It's a bit on the dry side, but I really like it. It's making my mouth water. So I might have put a little less sugar syrup than it needed, but it's amazing. Also, it needs a bit more dilution. That's my fault. I can't wait to make clover clubs. I'm going to practice them though. I'm going to try to get the recipe just right. I might do that tonight. Might get my Bombay Bramble on tonight. Right, so in the interest of making a show, right? Today, I wanted to, I was going to interview someone about a new thing that's about to be like released to the public, and like the people didn't want to do a press release just yet. They wanted to delay it. So there was meant to be a whole episode. And when there wasn't, I thought to myself, right, I was thinking on Friday, where Mitch was able to just call in, and I thought, like, what represents a bar better and a bar environment? Like, adding in that element of random, that guest that just walks in and just decides to have a big night, start buying everyone drinks? Or do I go with the show more structured and have, like, Mitch's Minute, and here's an awesome thing I've seen, and then here's a brand thing where I'm tasting something that someone sent me, which I love doing. Like, that's my, like, I really like brand stuff. So I don't want to expand on that. I want to kind of keep it fair, and I don't want it to become just like some random calling in being like, blah, 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 blah. And I guess you guys don't. But, for example, Des, right? Des is commenting all the time. Daniel is commenting all the time. And Diogo, like, and Gabby, there's regulars on the show. So if you're a regular and you want to get involved, next episode, let's do that. Or, you know, if you've got well, it's too late now for Skyping and stuff. So I'm going to put Mitch's on. And Mitch's Minute question this morning was obviously themed around the idea that I was going to start taking calls, you know?
Take some of the spontaneity out of it, which is kind of what a bar is. But personally, because I like to dial everything in, you can geek a lot harder. Like, when you're super done, and sorry, all I've done is work since I saw you last time, I'm exhausted. Yeah, I personally would rather have something that was preset and totally controlled, because I'm a control freak. And it allows you to be able to dial things up with no waste. But it does take a lot of fun out of it. Fuck, it's a hard question. I mean, yeah, I'd go with the dialed in one, the high-end restaurant. But I want it to be like that, but without being stuffy. You know, like you could still swear and do shots and stuff.
Right, so you can see where I was going there. I was like, let's just add people, get them calling in. It'll be super amazing. It'll be we, especially if we've got a conversation going and then brought an extra person in. It's too late for that now. We're like half some amount of time in. I have no idea. Right, so I would just like to make a big thank you to Mark Plumberich for sending me this. It's really, I can't stop thinking now about the adding the flavour in but keeping it as dry as it is. I think it's something I could really play with, and it was blindsided by it. I didn't even know about it. Otherwise, I would have already bought it and tasted it. Cool. So let's do one more thing. Let's do something random. I know what I want to do. I'm going to make a drink with this. I'm not going to play with the Clover Club right now, but I want to see something. I can't help but think, and I need to use up my vermouth. What would happen? Do raspberries and maraschino work together? The floral maraschino flavor and that raspberry flavor that's coming from this, right? Do they work? Because I don't know, but I really want to find out. So for the one last thing I'm going to do, and guys, I accept that, the show could be better. The show, I could organize myself. I could set up my station. I wouldn't be doing this right now. I'd be doing stuff like, I don't know, I would have scooped a bunch of ice in and we'd be ready to go. The ice would be tempered. Everything would be nice. All my station would be laid out beautifully. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm doing the show 3 days a week. And I'm a consultant, I got people that I'm working with. And I have to get my head into the right headspace for creativity for them before I do work for them. So that takes a lot of time out of the day. And then aside from that, when I'm actually not working, it's all Axel. It's all Axel all day. Now, at some point in time, life will go back to a little bit of normality. Axel's gonna need to interact with other children because he needs to learn social skills outside of like shouting at his mum and dad and then giggling and smiling and being all cute so he gets his way, because other kids can't pick him up. So he's got to learn all those things, and when he does, I'm going to get some more time off to work on the show because this is my happiness. I love this. Now, when that happens, I hope that all these random excursions into, what could we do, have taught me something. It's certainly feeling a lot more comfortable to be in front of the camera right now than it was when I pressed that go live button earlier on today. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Oh, it was scary. Right, so for those of you that have watched more than 2 or 3 episodes, I don't know what they're called. I think Gaz Regan called them duos and trios. But I'm a massive fan of Martinez. I'm going to go more gin. Massive fan of the Martinez, the Manhattan, Harvard. I'm a huge fan of the Rum Toronto that Mitch introduced to us on this show by accident. And I think we should make more of those, actually, to be fair. But what I'm making now is a blackberry and raspberry Martinez. Like, it has to be good. It has to be good. And I might even go as far as to mix it up. Instead of putting orange, I know. Instead of putting orange, I'm going to put lemon. I'm going to add because of the fruity flavor. It's extra lemoniness back in. Right. Oh, no chilled glass. Dang. I do know how to bartend. Like, I know how. I think it'd take me like 6 months, maybe 3 months to get warmed up again. Every time. It takes a couple of months to get your body moving the way you need it to move. And to remember all the little things. Little things are big things, I know, but... Right. And this is going to be too small for the glass. But I'd rather have a bit of insurance. Way too much insurance. You see this? You see that? Right? Looks like he's handling it okay. He's not. He's not. He's freaking out. Right? Where is my remote control for the lights? I have to not have a remote control for the lights now. As cool as it might be when someone comes around and you're like, check this out. Click. Lights. It's not worth it if you lose the remote control. And what if Axel ate the remote control? Like, he bites our remote controls all the time, and then dead remote control. No remote control anymore. I wish you could taste this. This is good. This is up there with the Indian spice Negroni that very much by accident was like the best tasting thing I've ever made in my life. I just put some Indian spices in. Tasted great. It was phenomenal. This is up there. 99.9% of the time, I don't like drinking my own drinks. It's very rare that I'll make a drink for myself that I like. I think, and I'm a firm believer in this, I think that people's energy goes into their drinks. I know it's going to sound hippie and weirdo, but I genuinely think if someone's legend, they're being lovely, they're showing you the best possible time, they're making your drink, they're putting loads of effort into it, every tiny little detail of what they're doing is thought out, they're concentrating, and then they put it forward to you. It just tastes better. When you do it for yourself, it's like meh. It's like the difference between like making love and masturbation, you know? Masturbation's never going to hold up. It's been lovely speaking to you all. Have a nice night or day or whatever time it is. You know, I hope it goes well from here on in.